Hi, welcome back, Bridge fans. We have another hand for you, played by Jim Proctor. Sadly died a few months ago. Great tournament director. If you didn't see the first video, I'd go and watch that. Much better handing than this one, I think. But this was played, I was actually in the field at the time. This was played at my local club back in Scarborough, back about 20 years ago. And I do remember the hand because it has an interesting point here and a moderately funny ending to it. So you're in six spades by South. I can't remember the auction, but Jim was playing this in six spades. And you got the Queen of Hearts lead. So as usual, you sit there and you count your tricks and you work out how good a contract it is. You're playing match points. So making over tricks, if there are any there, are good. Obviously, you might want to play in 6N here. Let's have a think about why 6N. 6N probably scores better here. So those people in 6N would probably score much better here. But if we count your tricks, you're going to make two hearts. Five spades is 7. Two diamonds is 9. And two clubs is 11. So how can we potentially make extra tricks here? So what are the chances of making 3 club tricks? Well, if you just look at the club suit, you can see that you've got the 10 and the 9. So potentially there are ways, if clubs are 3-2, you can make 12 tricks by just playing ace king in another club. If someone's got a singleton king or queen, you can play one of your top honors and knock out the remaining queen or jack. Or if they're 3-2, obviously they're making it. Or if they're 4-1 and you can work out who's got the 4, you can play a top honor and lead towards the 10 or the 9. And if they insert, you then have equals. So it looks like it's going to come down to the club suit. So let's just see how things break. We're going to win the first heart in hand. And we're just going to draw trumps to see what's happening. So we'll play ace of spades, spade to the king, and a spade back to hand. So trumps were 3-2 and West threw a diamond away. And we now need to decide what's the best chance to try and either make 12 or bear in mind it is match points. Is there any line to make 13? Well, again, we started with 11 tricks. What lines are there to make 12 or 13 tricks? And I've given this hand to a few people, and the 10 and 9 of clubs are red herrings. To make 12, fine, you're playing on clubs and you're playing for a favourable club split. But to make 13, which is what Jim spotted, are there any legitimate lines to make 13? Yeah, he's going to make 13 half the time when clubs break. Okay? And he's going to make 12 half the time when clubs don't break. So what Jim did, and I don't know if you spot this as well, is Jim took a diamond finesse. Now, a diamond finesse could lose you a trick you weren't going to lose. You've got ace king of diamonds, and you can throw your losing heart and your singleton diamond on those, and you just rely on clubs. But what is the potential gain if the diamond finesse is on side? Can you see what the potential gain is? And I think this is where, I don't think I've seen many similar hands like this, but this is where his technique was pretty good. He was counting his tricks and he looked at the only way to make 13 was to throw 2 clubs away and rough the clubs out. You could have queen jack tight of clubs, and that is a legitimate way to make 13 as well. So obviously he's going up on that, but his line is much better than queen jack doubleton club. What Jim did at trick 5 is he took a diamond finesse. And when the diamond wins, what can you do now? Well, what you can do at this point is if the diamond finesse wins, you can now throw 2 clubs on the top 2 diamonds. And now, if clubs break, you rough the clubs out. I mean, you're already on 12 because the diamond finesse was your 12th trick. But if now the clubs break and you play ace king and rough a club, you can get to the king of hearts to throw your last heart away on the 13th club. And it's exactly what happened. You play a club to the ace, club to the king. The clubs were 3-2 with the queen dropping, so people in 6 were going to make 12. But Jim managed to make 13 because now he can rough the clubs good. And he can throw his losing heart on the last club to make 13 tricks. So we'll show the full hand. And you can see at trick 1. Well, that's quite an interesting thing. I haven't got the hand quite right because I'm pretty sure South had 6 spades. I can't remember the exact hand, but the principle behind the hand was this. This happened about 20 years ago. I was sat the other direction, and Jim was the only declarer in the room of about 12, 15 tables or something like that to make 13 tricks. The comical thing about it was he was probably the only declarer in the room not to be in slam. I think he was in 4 spades, so he made 13 tricks in 4 spades to get a bottom when everyone else is making 12 tricks in 6 spades or 6N. So unlucky, Jim. Well played, but sadly you didn't get a top on the board that it deserved. But it's an interesting play. I don't know how many opportunities you've missed in the past where you can take these finesses that don't seem to gain, because basically you didn't need to take the dime finesse. It wasn't a finesse you needed to take, but in doing so you can avoid losing a club and still make it when clubs are 3-2. Imagine if the diamond finesse lost, then you can still rough the club's good, and you still make it. You still get that heart discard when the dime finesse is offside. So if, as long as clubs are breaking all the dime finesses, right, he's making it, whereas everyone else in 6 is only making it if clubs split. I don't know how everyone else played it, but because no one else made 13, no one else took the dime finesse. So well done, Jim. Good board. Sad that you got a bottom on it though. But hats off to you. I've remembered this hand from 20 years ago, so it's stuck with me, and it'll keep sticking with me now because now it's on YouTube. So thanks for watching, everyone. I've been Steve, and I'll be back in a bit. I'm going to Iceland next weekend, playing with Filthy, playing with Ewan and Zach Grossack as teammates, and I've also got the Nottingham event will come out in the next day or two, so watch out for that. That was a live event played last weekend, so I'll see you soon.